Generally, the faster you want to grow your portfolio on crypto, the riskier it's going to be. There's just no way around that, right? The same logic applies to passive income. You can get like 20% yearly APR in Anchor or similar protocols, but that's not that exciting if you have like $100 of budget to invest. On the other hand, there are projects that promise 5% daily yield and 300,000% yearly APY, but really we all know that it's not sustainable, because if it was, we would all be billionaires within a year. But anyways, in this video I want to share with you guys a realistic strategy that you can use to first go from 0 to $100 to $200 and how then to invest this cash to earn $50 per day passively. Needless to say that this is going to be extremely risky, but I really hope that I don't need to imply that. Going from 0 to $1,500 per month is going to come with its risks along the way. There's going to be two parts to this guide. First, we're going to acquire small capital starting from $0, so if you already have some money, you can skip to part number 2, but I do think that you will still find some valuable information. And second, we're going to take that capital and invest it in projects that hopefully will make us $50 per day passive income. Okay, so first step will be getting that initial small bit of capital. To do that, we're going to need to get a little bit dirty, so bear with me. Good place to start is by opening a Coinbase account. And Coinbase has Learn and Earn section where you can periodically get some free cryptos. For example, you can get $3 by learning about AMP, $4 if you set up a Coinbase wallet, and $10 if you learn about Stellar. On top of that, if you can afford it, you can sign up with my link below and get additional $10. To do that, you will have to deposit $100, but don't worry, you will be able to withdraw them afterwards. So if you do all of these steps, you should have around $27 relatively quickly. Next, there's a website that does look kind of sketchy, but it did get recommended to me by a friend of mine, and the website is called freecash.com. Basically, you can earn crypto and cash by downloading games, playing them, and doing surveys amongst other things. And on average, people earn about $10 a day on this website, and from what I found on Reddit, there's quite a bit of people using this site to make some side money. For example, this guy right here who spends about 1 hour per day after school and makes about $30 to $50 per week. And from what I've seen, payouts are instant to PayPal or your crypto wallet. And if you want to get a small bonus here, you can use my link down below. You will get an extra spin at this free case thing and you could win $250. Also, if you're from the United States or big European countries, you're going to make much more from this than someone from example from Moldova or an African country. And before you go into comments and say that I have wasted your time with this, first of all, if you have $0, every dollar makes a difference. Second, if you have $0 and you can make $100 to $200 in crypto by spending a couple of hours doing surveys, are you really going to complain? And third, I have been in the position where I have to hustle for every euro to feed myself that day, so I do know how it is. Now it's where risk level really rises from 0 to 100. And I assume that you have anywhere between $100 to $200 at this point, and I'm going to show you how to turn that into $50 per day. And to do that, you're going to find new and legit node or staking projects and invest in them while they're relatively small and unknown. And we do this for one simple reason. Node and staking projects pay out rewards on top of price appreciation of native token, and that's what we really want to take advantage of. Here's a good example with Cronodes. If you had invested about $120 in this project back when price per one token was about $3, your earnings per day at that point would be about $9. On day 5, those earnings would be $30, and on day 10, your earnings per day would be $95. And that's all because you got in the project extremely early and the price appreciated massively. And at this point, your $120 investment would have turned in close to $3,000 per month. And Cronodes is a really good example of what kind of node projects I'm looking for, because they didn't have this huge and hyped up launch. As you can see right here, their launch was relatively quiet and they started growing in February and they launched in January. And if you had gotten in at this point right over here, you could have easily turned about $100 in close to $3,000 per month. It's easy to say that if you had gotten into a project then, you'd make so much money. But in Chronod's example, the price was accessible for a really long time, and if you use the method that I'm going to show you next, you would have found this project. It's just a matter of being available to new opportunities when they come your way. So the question is, how do we find these projects? My favorite way to find them is hands down Twitter. That's where I think the best alpha can be found. So let's go to Twitter and type in the search new node projects. Now what I like to do is go to top results and see what comes up. Now when you type in a phrase like this, you're going to be greeted with people shilling projects that they are invested in, developers promoting their projects, and everything in between. And what we want to find is genuine people who are sharing something interesting that they found. And as I mentioned before, what you want to find are projects that have already launched but have not had huge price explosions and that are sitting at relatively low market caps. So scrolling a little bit, I found this tweet talking about Wind Finance, and it caught my eye because this project was followed by a whole lot of people I follow, a huge green flag in my book. I'm not saying that I'm investing in this project, but this one does check all the boxes for what I'm looking for, and if we look at the chart right here, it launched the 24th of February and is only sitting at $200,000 market cap, which is really small for an old project, right? And they still haven't had their huge explosion in price. And if we compare it to Chronodes, this project is currently, I think, in this phase right here, right at the start. And guys, I'm not saying that this project will be successful or anything, or that it will go up in price like this Chrono project did, but I'm just saying that this project is relatively small, the devs are doxed, and it kind of does check out all the boxes for the initial research that I do. Now, this alone is not enough to make me invest. Additionally, I check the contract to see what the holders look like. If there's huge number of coins in one single wallet, I stay away as this is potentially a rug pull waiting to happen. On top of that, I do a deep dive into the Discord or Telegram servers and see what the other people are like. And more importantly, what the developers are like. Are they online, answering questions and being part of the community? Still, there's just so much research that you can do, and judging people's real intentions is hard, especially since they're anonymous and with no track record. And this is what makes the strategy and crypto as a whole risky. You're investing in these unknown projects with anonymous teams, sort of placing a lot of trust into something that you can only do so much diligence on. I personally spend hours researching projects to find any good ones, but it's worth it in the end since the payouts can be massive. Scrolling a little bit more, we can see that this project, Decentral Vegas, gets promoted a whole lot, and I don't really like when huge promoter accounts talk about one particular project. In my eyes, that just means that these accounts are paid, and I like to focus more on people organically talking about the projects and not in paid promotion by promoters. Here's another tweet talking about the Vegas project. I would definitely stay away from this one just because they're paying so many people to promote it. Also, you have probably heard about this project called Hive, which is part of Union of Transparency. And while this project has not launched yet, I don't think it's really good for people with small budgets to get in these huge hyped up projects, because the price at launch, it will just explode most likely, and you're more than likely to buy at the top, and when people sell, you will most likely lose your money, and your profit won't be nearly as huge if you had just invested in projects that are less known. Also, it's healthy to not look at these projects thinking that the passive income that they pay you now will be there in, let's say, a month or a year. My node strategy is that I get in extremely early and invest a sizable sum of money, take out my initial investment as soon as I can, and after that take out everything and convert the native tokens in something more stable. I don't compound for the sole reason that I don't believe that any of these projects will be here long term. I move my cash from one trending project to the next one, exponentially growing my capital. So finding projects like these with small market caps and projects that you can be early to is really key to turning relatively small amounts in huge passive income machines. Needless to say that investing in new projects is extremely risky. Most new projects fail within weeks, but if you really find good ones, you can easily turn your relatively small capital in huge money generating machine. And I do believe that crypto is the biggest wealth transfer of our generation. Subscribe to the channel for more. Bye.